Hey there, my fellow Scottish homesteaders. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Clanfolk, Episode 4, Barn Raising. So the other clan here, I forgot to check, Robertson. So Robertson, Cameron is the most likely to trade. They have a 24% chance. Robertson only has a 12%, and they live to the west in the plains. So they're going to be selling us the grains here. Cameron is going to be selling forest stuff, Hunter's going to be selling mountain stuff, and Macintosh is going to be selling coast stuff. Oh, Macintosh's trade rate went up, actually. Hey, Tumbling, thank you for the raid. Welcome to Clanfolk. Okay, we are going far and wide for the large stones now. So I'm going to continue to gather stones. Knowing that I'm probably going to eventually be farming in this area, I'll clear the stones from the future farming spot. So that we're working, you know, to a future project. We also have that, that iron pick that allows us to put a clay spot. The only advantage of a clay spot is it allows you to automate collecting clay, but I'd rather have the iron pick for at least now so that we collect clay faster than to put a clay spot down. So I'm not gonna employ that clay spot. And then look at the other ideas. We're still waiting on the wool dresser here, but that is waiting for extra wood. So let's go ahead and clear some trees. That's probably too many. Clear some trees. So that we can build all the things waiting on planks. Because I am very low on planks. I have 18 logs and 1 plank. So that is first order of business. Oh no! And I built myself into a corner here. So I'm going to demolish one of these walls so that I can actually finish this. And not build that wall. Kind of an order of operations required here. But the pantry is almost done. And then the idea here is to put things like these meat rack and mushroom rack and serving baskets stored in here so that they don't spoil. And that will keep our food from going bad. If this is Scotland, why isn't it pouring rain? Honestly, it will be pouring rain a lot. I still need straw, so I don't mind buying it. It's pretty inexpensive, and I'm going to sell my fertilizer because I don't really have a farm yet, so I'm not too concerned about maxing out my fertilizer at the moment. There we go. Pantry time. And it's not just about digging to the mountain. The other thing that you're going to want in this pantry is go to storage and go to the the jug pallet. What's going to be important is to have a pallet of frozen water stored in your pantry that you build up that supply in the winter, and then it can help to cool the area in the summer. And of course, no light in this room because light is also a heat source. So it's going to be dark. So it's not somewhere you ever want to work. That's probably important to stress is don't be designing your pantry as an area to do process goods because it will be pitch black and it will absolutely positively piss off anyone that's working in there because they'll be in the dark and working slow. Where's my other straw door? Where'd it go? Whatever, I'll build another one. I don't know where it went. It's like uninstalled somewhere, but I can't find it. Thomas Jade, thank you for the resub. Okay, we're starting to get additional tailoring stuff. So a textile shelf, a bark wash. So bark wash cleans hides to create leather. And then an ash wash, which soaks dry hides in coal ash to prepare them for being scraped. And we also have a fishing spot, so I can fish raw fish. Let's do until 10. And that will have Glitch grab some fish for us, which then we can subsequently cook or smoke. So I'm going to have smoked fish, because that is a way to keep it longer. We now also have the bark bin. So that's just bark that we shred off of the timbery. And then also an ash bin, which keeps the ash from the charcoal kiln, the wood ash, dry as well. I really hope a trader comes by and buys my stone. I have so much gravel right now. So you did vote on me starting to work on the barns. So I'm going to clear some of these immature trees. And I want the barn to share a wall with the kitchen so it stays warm. Oh, we also now have the spinning wheel. So that allows me to make linen hanks, which is the first process of really making linen clothing, and that's made from the flax fibers, which is at the flax dressing, which is made from the cured flax stems, which is made at the flax redder, and the flax for the flax redder is made at the thresher. So as you can see, it is one somewhat complicated process chain. Yeah, a little supply chain there. Wee bit complicated. Oh, another thing that I meant to do is the well. So basic needs a well. I'm going to stick that there. That requires quite a lot of stone blocks, but we do have 20 already queued up, so we should be able to get that in no time. And the last of the tailoring is a loom. So I'll queue that up too. Very disorganized, but future projects are going to be things like build a tailor shop and build a blacksmithy. So we'll get there. Just gonna take a while. So in terms of a barn, it's not even by with the supply shelf there. In terms of a barn, let's start laying that out. So I'm going to do daub for it as well, just like the last one. I'm going to have it, it's not going to exactly be square, it's just going to fill space. So it's going to be this area. Another thing to note is heat producers heat up an area in a finite amount. So the larger your square area, the more heat-producing objects you will require in order to keep that area warm in the winter. So you don't want to have it larger than you actually need. And then I'm going to stick a barn door in here. Maybe there? And that will be my little barn. And then the last thing of this barn is a vent, so that we can add heat to the barn for the animals so they don't freeze. And then above that, we'll just have a hay roof. And that's it. That's barn version 1.0. Very, very, very simple. We're also going to, in there, going to want a few other things too. We're going to want a water trough. So this water trough, I'll stick there. It's pretty close to the well, which is convenient. And then some animal beds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's good enough for now. I don't believe I've unlocked the grain trough, though, yet. I need to build the water trough first, but we'll have a gray and hay trough to be able to feed them. In here, this jug pallet, I am only going to put water jugs in there. I don't have ice jugs yet. Actually, don't even put water jugs. This cooking fire, I'm going to break down, and the zone around it, because we don't cook out here anymore. It's not necessary to keep it. And still working... Oh, here we go. Clean wool. So clean wool requires water, wood ash, and raw wool. And I will auto-supply, I don't know, let's say 25. And that will open up some wool clothing options once we have a loom. Okay, cool. It is towards the end of the summer now. So definitely trying to prepare for colder seasons at this point. Cheers. This is probably not where I want a stone quarry, so I'm going to delete it. I'll want a stone quarry way closer to where the masonry is done. My chicken's telling me to watch my posture. It's weird, man. It's weird. Oh, let's also get rid of the work zone. We don't need a work zone now that we have a workbench. It's obsolete. And then with this double bed, setting for glitch and cipher, we no longer need the sleeping mats at all. We can uninstall them. Actually, I'm just going to break them down, because I don't see a scenario where we're going to use them. Because now that we have access to straw beds, we don't need sleep mats. People don't prefer sleep mats. Oh, good. We processed our first wool, so now we can also make wool hanks, which is... So you take linen hanks and wool hanks, and then you put them through the loom to make wool cloth and linen cloth. So we're very close to having linen and wool's extremely important for the winter if you want to keep your people happy and warm. If, you know, maybe you don't. All right, raising the priority of the... Oops, didn't do that. Raising the priority of the barn construction just a little bit. To get that ready for us. And a new trader. Willing to sell us stuff we don't need. Cool, 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 cool. Bye. Bye, Agnes. Angus, whatever your name is. Another trader. Selling us iron ore? Sure. Is there anything we can part with here? Not really. So, bye there, Giles. Or Giles? I don't know. Both. So we're starting to get the animal beds. Make it comfortable for the animals. And there's the water trough. So now that we have the water trough, that's also going to unlock the hay trough and the grain trough. so that the animals can eat during the winter. During the non-winters seasons, they will graze on grass, but in the winter, the grass dies back, and they're going to need troughs to be able to feed. Ooh, making that iron pick finally. I don't know what it's for. So I think at this point, I can remove kitchen and pantry to just build a barn. Because the pantry is somewhat done. There's some finishing touches to be made there, like putting the meat racks in and making sure that we keep the stuff in there that should be in there. But it's close to being done. The mushroom rack is a cooking skill, so that should stay in the kitchen. Because if it's too cold, mushrooms won't dry out. Yoda, don't shoot yourself. So what should I build next? Now that we're building the barn. You guys could vote. Looks like we have all the materials for the loom, soon the textile shelf, and the acid wash as well. Ooh, it's telling me I don't have enough hay. Done. Cut some of this grass down for hay. And I'm also going to need some straw. So these reeds are done. Let's clear them for some straw. I'm out of large rocks needed for the job board. I'm not too worried about a job board right now. I don't really have the money to hire external workers. But I will collect more stones for that job board. For the future. Was that Yoda? It was. Yeah. But he's going bye-bye. So our tasks are up in the 200 range. There is a lot of hauling and mining and building tasks. Well, not mining, but hauling and building tasks right now. So I'm going to try to lay off of them so that they can get work done. They're being taxed. Inside the barn. Maybe I will put the barn as cobblestone floors. Pretty cold, but barn floors don't have like a temperature, so they don't care. I think it will look good. That's what matters. And then we'll get the serving basket and meat rack into the pantry. And we are low on clay again. Stop telling me to make a clay pit. I don't want a clay pit. I can also move the butcher block. Butcher blocks make a lot of filth. So don't put them in your kitchen if you don't want your kitchen to be ugly. And now that I'm about to get, and now that I have the tailoring bench, I can get rid of the clothes zone, as they are unnecessary to have them together. Now the worry here is that the general goods here, some of them, the quality goes down if they sit outside for too long. I don't really have a storage zone for them yet, but that's something I'm going to want, probably. Come here, Yoda. Okay. If you haven't voted yet, please do so. Blacksmithy and tilling farm fields is about tied. So we're going to want resolution there. The other thing I'm going to want to do here is get a critter door, maybe 2 critter doors in the barn so that the roosters can come out and the hens. Why 2, if you wonder? I do find that the critter doors sometimes bug out and don't let the animals through. Like a rooster will just stand in the door for no reason and cock block everybody. Rooster block, yeah, that's what I meant. Rooster block the critter doors. So I've always found that it's pretty good to have 2 critter doors for that reason. Where's my gong? I thought I had a gong stockpile. I guess I don't. I will have to get one. Okay, blacksmithy 1 out. 2. No, it's tied. How about a tiebreaker? Here we go. 2.5 minute tiebreaker. Between a blacksmithy and farm fields for next season. What do you want to see done? And we are officially in the fall now. So it's the second day of fall. Definitely going to want to get ready for that. Means we need clay and straw to build. Oh, 2 baby sheep. We got a raffle timer. Nice. Our population grows. So we have male and a female baby sheep. Probably going to want some additional animal beds, as we are quickly growing our pop here. And there is a trader coming in, so hopefully this trader will allow us to, like, buy things we need or sell stones. I guess we'll see. Where are they? Jean. Coming from the Hunters. So she will sell us iron ore. That's something. There we go. Now we have a window into the pantry so that we can actually see what the heck's going on. If I want to buy the other iron ore, which I do, let me figure out something to sell to them. Probably not food. Charcoal and twigs and more charcoal, because they're pretty replaceable. And we'll just make more charcoal and cut down trees for twigs. It's been a while since I zoomed out and looked at the roof, but here's what the roof looks like. We're working on the barn roof now. And it looks like blacksmithy is going to be next. Okay, let's build a blacksmithy. Build a barn and blacksmithy. You got it. Trifector, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Ah, there we go, finally. We're stockpiling the meat racks and serving baskets in the pantry where they belong. Almost have that barn enclosed. It's very, very close. I think the barn's not going to get a floor before the house gets a floor. So I'm going to not bother flooring it up just yet. So Blacksmith. I think farm fields are going to be here, likely. This seems to be an ideal spot. It's next to the kitchen. So maybe farm fields in this area. Probably here ought to be... I don't want to fill this area in because it's right by the coastline. And there's better things to do here than to put a blacksmith. So blacksmithing, maybe down here in this area. Close enough to the house, but not taking up prime real estate for farm fields and the like. So instead of clearing that grass there, let's start working here. So for a blacksmith, you want a smithy and a bloomery, maybe 2 bloomeries. I don't really know. Probably start with 1. And it doesn't hurt to have a spot for a torch either. So I'm going to start moving these guys to where I want the blacksmith. And I find, personally, it's a bit easier to lay them out. Lay your structures out and then to build around them. So here is the smithy and bloomery. And then I'll also move relevant things like the flame blocker. Oh, the flame blocker's offset incorrectly. Okay, so there's a 2-unit sort of pathway here. Let's make it 1. Shrink it down just a little bit. Okay. There's my flame blocker. Then we're also going to want to move the iron ore so that it's next to the bloomery. Let's put the ore box there. I don't think I have an ingot bin, so we'll put the ingot bin there. And then in here, I'm also going to want the supply shelf. And I'll stick a supply shelf. Maybe here. Gemstone, you are going to be one of my little new animals, if I could find them. Here they are. And the other one, Kilgore. Scary name for a sheep. I wonder if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Congrats. So I think what's going to be important is that the blacksmith is fireproof. So I'll probably do stone block walls. They seem probably the most fitting. I don't want to set everything up to be the most pretty possible, like brick walls everywhere. I want to employ a variety of building materials because I feel like that's just a little bit more realistic. So this will be the blacksmith here. This is a little smithy house, and I'll put a, for now, just a wood door because I don't think I can easily afford the ironclad door. Maybe in the future when we're wealthy. So wood door in there. And that's a pretty good layout. I'm trying to think if there's any other objects to put in there, and I'll take a look at the idea thing to make sure that I have enough room. The other thing that we might want in here is a coal bin. So I'll stick a coal bin right at the door there. And a tool rack wouldn't be terrible to have next to the smithy, because we make tools in here, so we'll have a tool rack to be able to store tools next to the smithy as well. I'll put 3 tool racks, because that's quite a bunch. Actually, this third tool rack, I'll just move from this one over here. Save myself 1 extra thing to craft. And I think that's all that really needs to go in there. Yeah. I'm going to do likely 2 iron ore places eventually, but for now I can just have the 1. Then For the roof, I will do tiled roof. And for floors, cobblestone floors. That is a big project. That is going to take a long time. But the advantage of that is we will be able to craft off-season well. Actually, this supply shelf, I'm going to move to here. And then to put one more tool rack in there. I have sort of ideas. And then, not quite done yet. I also want stone windows. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good little smithy. Now, probably most importantly, is to get the actual smithy. Oh, we ran out of scythes. Of sickles. Alright, we just made a stone sickle. So if we ran out of sickles, I'm going to make two more stone sickles, knowing that we don't really have any iron ones at the moment. Because we're going to want to clear out this grass pronto so that we can actually use the bloomery and the... to use the bloomery and to use the smithy and not set massive fires everywhere. So now with the bark wash and the ash wash, we can start to process hides to clean them up to become full leather rather than just hide clothing. And we should almost be done. Oh, don't set fire to the grass. Good. It's not guaranteed or anything. It's just chance. Okay, I am being warned that I don't have enough large rocks. Let's gather more stone. I am starting to get like a stupid amount of stone, so I really do hope that I'm able to sell it to someone soon. And we have enough linen hanks to make linen cloth. So linen cloth I'll make until 25, and wool cloth until 25. And then I can also make plaid. So wool can be turned into wool cloth. Wool hanks can be turned into wool cloth for wool clothing, or into plaid, so that we can rock our clan tartans. And I think it's only Cypher and Kadath that needs them. But they're good mood benefits. Initially, I'm mostly going to be worried about... I'm going to be worried about warm clothing for the winter and not to make plaid, because plaid doesn't actually keep you warm. It just makes you a little happy. We really need that grass cut so the smithy can start making nails again. And then we're also falling behind on planks, which is the timbery. So I'll raise that priority just a little bit. Four days of food is a comfortable amount. And everybody's asleep. Starting to get a little cold at night. So once we start to get the our warmth too low, I will allow the stone fireplace to be stoked, and then also possibly make a second stone fireplace. Oh, is the barn done? Almost. It needs another critter door and a window, but it is just about done. Just unlocked cheese press. So cheese press is because I'm assuming we got linen from the loom. And then now that we have a little bit of linen at the tailor bench, you'll be able to see all of the linen clothing. So there's a linen coif, which makes you happy and keeps you cool in the winter, or in the summer. Same with the bottoms, same with the shirt. So they're things that people like to wear because they're comfortable, but they are not particularly insulating. So what I do want to do is focus on wool cloaks. So I'm going to make a wool cloak for everybody. I'm going to make 6 wool cloaks. That's how I'm going to use my wool. And I'm not going to even bother to use the linen at the moment. Wool cloaks, I think, is the best bang for your buck. So it's 6 cloth, 5 hanks for 1200 warmth. And then if we take a look at the other stuff, this is 1 cloth, 2 hanks for a hat, 500 warmth. That's pretty good too. And then there's also wool tunics, which is 4 cloth, 5 hanks for 650. All right, get to work. You all stand around and drive me crazy. What I really want is that grass cleared so we can start making nails again. Buy a moo cow for cheese? Oh, I already have a moo cow. See? I just haven't milked them. Another trader? Ah, one that will buy my stones. Thank you. I will bankrupt you. Promptly. And then I will buy a hen off of you, but not a rooster. I'm not really ready for the explosion of population having fertilized eggs. So that is yet another raffle timer. Good luck. And Daniel, thank you for buying all my stones. So now the pantry is actually cleared of stone, which is great, because it was choked full of stupid stones before. So we have Emily and another hen. Oh, this hen came injured. Rude. That dude sold us defective. A defective hen. I'm going to delete this general stockpile because I don't really care where stuff goes, to be honest. It's all outside, so it makes no difference to me. Our food's looking okay. Pantry's fine. We have... How many animals do we have? Got the 4 sheep, 2 chickens, and a cow. So yeah, I have bedding for all of them. There's only a certain amount of uses of these beds until the beds are used up. So it's definitely useful to have excess beds so that when a bed breaks, there's spare. Trying to think of what we need. It wouldn't be terrible to have a second kiln so that we can get a lot of tiles and bricks. And it's not too expensive to run. And a second charcoal kiln too. Same sort of reason. Finally! Someone's cutting back that grass. Kadath is working overtime on the loom here. I wonder how much of the cloaks we've got. Oh, wow. None so far, but he's about to make one. So that's our first wool cloak, which is going to be great. I'm also being told I don't have enough cured flax stems, but that's only really useful for summer clothing. I do need more clay, though. Always with the clay. And now with a gong place, I have places to put the gong. The gong place probably needs to be close to the compost, and actually the composter and the gong place probably should be positioned close to the barn, because that's where the gong's going to be made. Can you smoke eels? Nope, just meat and fish. No eels. So eels become a less useful... In fact, that reminds me, let's auto-supply eels only until 5. It becomes a less useful food source later on, as they are not easily preserved. So in the textile shelf, why can't I make leather stuff yet? Let's look at the idea tree. So butter is in the butter churn. Clean hide, I need a hide scraper. That's what's going on. So crafting. Where is my hide scraper? Here it is. I don't have one of these? I guess not. Let's get a hide scraper out here then. Alright, man, that's the chicken. Emily! You don't get to be 2 chickens. Or I'll reroll that. Nick the Good. Where's the other chicken? Find that they're hard to spot sometimes. Feel like I'm Elmer Fudd hunting chickens. I'm going to prioritize the kiln and the charcoal kiln because that's going to accelerate the process of building this blacksmithy. Blacksmithy is a big project. And then also make sure that we have a mason cutting stone for the blacksmithy as well. God, it is a mess. But it's my mess. It's my cute little mess. So here's all the animals being cared for. In the hay trough, we just stick hay in here. And then in the grain trough, we can pick the grains. So I'm going to say only hayseed. I want to keep the flax and the oat grain for linen and for bread. But grass seed, happily, I'll put in the grain trough. All right, looking at my resources up top, I think iron is going to be a need soon. So I'll continue to mine out that mountain. The other thing I could do here is a mulch path. So I'm going to create a mulch path down to the blacksmithy. And I'm going to mulch up around the barn as well. As mulch is pretty and we move a bit faster. And Kadath's wearing that cloak. The first cloak. Oh, our bucket of milk. Trying to figure out what everyone's working on. A little bit of butchering. I think our snare caught something. And then we tan the hides, and there's the second kiln. So that's going to allow us to stockpile our charcoal. Nice. There is the hide scraper to scrape hides clean so that they're ready for leather. So it's quite a process to make leather stuff. You have a hide rack where you dry the hides out, dry fresh hides into dry hides. Then they go through an ash wash. And then once they're ash washed, they go through a bark wash. And then after you have the clean hides in the bark wash, then you scrape them. So you have an ash hide with water scraped clean for clean hide. And that is as far as we've gotten so far on that production chain. Oh, and here's Glitch making clean hide. And now that we have clean hide, it makes formal leather. So now that I've unlocked leather, let's take a look at the idea tree here. Leather. For a leather tunic, the clean hide that has been scraped clean goes through the bark wash again to make leather to then become a leather tunic, which is a really effective way, because there's only a limited amount of wool that you're going to have early game, because sheep don't make infinite wool. So you're going to need a way to keep yourself warm some other way in the meantime, and that would be leather tunics. So we'll be making leather tunics here pretty soon, as soon as this clean hide goes through the bark wash again and makes full-fledged leather. You can see how big of a project a proper blacksmith is. Takes a while. Need a chamber pot. Okay. Most of this is just textiles, which I can ignore. They're just part of the process chains. I can right-click it to dismiss it. It will come back tomorrow, though. Here's the mulch. So we have the composter and the gong, and then the troughs and mulch path to improve our movement speed out there, which is kind of nice. Looks like I need clay. And this is coming together. This blacksmith. Slow, but coming together. Scion, thank you for the resub. There we go, leather tunic. Finally. So leather tunics, as you can see, provide 500 warmth, and they don't make you sad. So we will also make 6 of these too. So I'm focusing on wool cloaks and leather tunics, and that will add up to 1900 warmth. During the winter, when it gets really cold, you can always drop your warmth down, and then once it bottoms out, you can stand around a fire. The characters, once they become near hypothermic, will stand near open fire sources to warm up or go indoors where it's warm. But in order to keep them productive in wintertime, so they're not just huddled around a fire constantly, very, very useful to stockpile warm clothing. That's I think what I would consider the biggest challenge of the game is to deal with the cold, the oncoming winter. The winter will drop your food supply significantly, of course, and then it will also freeze your people to death. So that's, I would say, the only real danger, the real big thing to overcome in this game is not to freeze. And it sounds easy, but if you're not very focused on surviving the wintertime right at the start of the game, it's very easy for the winter to creep up on you and for you to succumb. I'm already a third through fall now, and winter's just around the corner. It's above freezing still, indoors and out, but the temperature is dropping, certainly. Do they need shoes? No. There's no cobbling yet in the game, at least. Alright, what should next goal be? Here are some options. So the blacksmith is a big goal, and we're still working on it. But I can possibly do 2 goals at once. So what should next goal be? Improve the kitchen. So this kitchen here doesn't really have a floor. It doesn't have welcome mats. It's very basic. It's just dirt. Improve the bedroom. Same deal. A nicer bedroom would go a long way. We could add storage, because we have a lot of stuff just being stored outside. One of the things I could do, storage-wise, is to put general storage in here in order to keep it protected from the elements, because this is a cave. It's not a terrible thing to do. So I'm going to move my storage in there, which is a start. We can add a work building, so either a tailor or carpenter or kiln, something like that. We could stockpile food for the winter. We could prepare for farming, or some viewer suggestion that you make. And looking, we have got a trader here. I don't want to trade with you. Bye. I do, however, need to cut down some trees. So I'm going to cut a whole bunch of trees here, preparing to stockpile wood for the winter. And then I'm going to plant... It's the wrong season to plant trees, so in the spring I'm going to have to plant trees back. But you can see all the trees that I had planted are starting to mature, which is good. Finlay. Oh, man. No, I don't want to buy stones. Get lost, dude. Thank you for tuning in to Clanfolk, which originally streamed live on Twitch July 29th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rodamont.com or the description of this video have a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, everybody.